Hello, Beasties. Welcome back to the Beastie Book Hour, which I've just decided to call it today. We have been hosting live YouTube videos on Fridays at 11:30 Eastern Time, and today we have something special for you.
Yes, we do. Today we are interviewing Coach Joe Horan, Executive Director of the Building Men program up in Syracuse, New York. He has his third book coming out, a big launch happening soon. So thanks for joining us, Joe. What's going on?
Oh, well, thanks for having me. I didn't realize it was a third one within a year until you guys said me that earlier. I'm like, wow, we really have been busy.
I know, right? I looked it up. I went back and checked the date. So actually, I've got Goals, Habits, Let's Go, Student Planning Guide for Success was released last June. So it was a year ago. And then the Building Men Playbook, a manual on how to create and implement a Building Men program in your school or community, came out in September. And now, June 2023, the memoir, A Teacher, a Coach, a Man, The Journey to the Heart, is now out.
Awesome.
So that's a feat. Most people might write one book in their whole life, and now you've got three in 1 year.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super awesome.
It was busy here.
Yeah. So all three of these books tie into the Building Men program. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that program first and how each of the books are associated with it?
Yeah, so the Building Men program started in 2006. It's a group mentoring program. Its whole purpose is to help our young men navigate, how to become a man in today's society, right? How do you deal with all the changes and the ebbs and flows and COVID and social media and all the things that are happening in today's world. And so we have a lot of activities, and all the activities lead to a discussion on, all right, what's going on? What's it take to to grow up? What are you struggling with? Well, how can we help you? And creating that safe space where young men can have these discussions. As we know that the mental health numbers are just rising among men and boys, and just the ability to have that, create that space and have boys talk about things that are on their heart and on their mind really provides a great outlet. And we need to help our boys, in navigating all the changes and all the things that are happening in today. So we just try to see if we can be part of that village to help our young men grow up.
Yeah, that's awesome. So the first book though is the student planner. So use that one with the actual students.
Yeah, so that I created that for the summer, right? And we're coming upon the summer, which that's probably the most fun for me, right? Is we have them all day. We have them from 9 until 3, and we get to do academics with them and sports and fitness and have talks about being a man and character. And our we use our planner, the planners right in the very beginning, right? And we're first thing we try to do is like, all right, what's our theme for the day? And we have an affirmation, I am a successful student. I am a man, right? I am gifted. I am powerful, right? And then we follow it up by what what are our quotes for the day? And we talk about win the day. That's our theme over the summer. How can we be our best today and then get a little bit better tomorrow and a little bit tomorrow? And we set our priorities for academics because that's a big part of what we're trying to do. Keep them in school, keep them in the game, right? And then we have an opportunity to close it up by what are 2 things we're grateful for. That's one of the best medicines I found, when I'm in a funk is, all right, let's see what I'm grateful for. And there's a lot to be grateful for. We also use it to set goals we have a fitness combine where we work on fitness and we set goals on fitness. We also have a tracker for changing our habits, so every day we get to check off, we get that new habit working. Because when you break things down in life, it's our choices and habits that will make or break us. So we use that for our summer program, and the kids enjoy it. And it's a really great looking book. And thank you, Jess. You awesome job on that. And the kids take pride in it, right? And we use it every day, and it's something that they can take with them and remind them of the things that they're trying to do in their life.
That's
Well, and it's
awesome.
it's nice to have a tangible reminder in your hands too, because it's so easy to get into a routine of not being in a routine. So if you have something right there, whether it's the playbook or something like that, where you're just creating healthy habits and even just giving yourself a little pep talk each day is really important. I mean, because we start our meetings with, oh, hey, what are we grateful for today? Because it just set things off on a little bit more of a positive and uplifted foot instead of Because it's real easy to get stuck in the mind space of focusing on the hard stuff when it's like, no, there's a lot to celebrate in life too. So that's
Exactly,
nice for
exactly.
the gentle reminders. So if there's not a Building Men program in one of the communities that someone's in, is that something that any other teacher or youth leader could pick up these books and implement and just use without an actual Building Men program? Or how would someone outside of Building Men use this workbook? Is that possible?
Yeah, and the planner, could be used in any kind of social emotional learning curriculum. And so we designed it very open so it can be used with a lot of different you know, if it's, a positivity project or whatever theme that they have, they could just make the theme of the day, right? And they can use it right in there as that planner.
That's
And
awesome.
it goes right along with the playbook, and so if somebody didn't know, all right, how do I do a Building Men program? The playbook is the framework. It gives you the outline. And then you plug in, what SEL you need to do. You plug in what activities you want to do. You plug in what kind of speakers and what kind of content you want in. And it just provides a framework in which we
Exactly.
have found successful over the last 17 years.
Well, yeah, especially with summer vacation coming up, people are probably looking for something to do with the kids. I'm sure even families could use it and say like, all right, guys, what are we doing today? Let's get going. We've got our grateful fours in the morning, and then let's go out. We'll run a couple laps, kick the soccer ball around, head out to the park,
There
something
you go.
like that.
There you
Yeah.
go.
When did you start first writing all these books? Was it something that's been going on over the last handful of years, or?
Well, the original manual came out, I believe, in 2014.
Oh, wow.
And so to try to get some of the content down on, how to run a Building Men program, which was, because the program expanded from one school to 3 schools.
Yeah.
That 2014, we're in 6 different schools. So I wanted to give them a resource to say, look, here's what's going on. And then it really became apparent that I needed to make it a little bit more simple. I need to really put some more thought into it. And so that's what happened over COVID. I had a little extra time and I needed to start writing.
Is that how the memoir was born? You just were in COVID sitting around kind of thinking about things. I'm sure that was a lot different of a process. I mean, the memoir is very near and dear to my heart as well. So, I mean, what was the inspiration for that one? Just your
Well,
personal.
it was a metaphorical 2x4, right? So I was at this professional development by this guy, Greg Boykins, and he was from Alabama. And we were in this lunch during PD. And so the PD director said he wants to have lunch with you and your staff. So he's talking to my staff is talking to him, blah, 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 and back and forth, back and forth. And he goes, you guys should be doing the PD. You guys should write a book. And he was standing right next to me, like right here. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Ding.
And then I couldn't shake the idea. And then a week later, COVID is shut down. Couldn't shake the idea. And then, one of my mentors, Jeremy Anderson, was offering this speaker's course. And part of the speaker's course was 3 modules on how to write a book. So I joined the course. I started looking at how to write a book, and then 30 minutes every day, 30 minutes every day.
Awesome.
And I gave it to one of my staff members who was an English teacher. I said, here, read this for me, will you? And he read it. And his response back to me is, part of it sounds like a manual and part of it sounds like a memoir.
Ooh.
Because I didn't start off I wasn't going to write a memoir. I was just redoing the manual. So I took all the manual stuff out, and that's where then the playbook started. So then I started working on the playbook, and added all of that content in the playbook. And in the playbook, there's a section all throughout the playbook that says why. And that was kind of like the why I do it and the why we came up with it. And then Building Men moments, what are the things that, we remember about that moment? And those things got inserted in the playbook. And then the rest of it was like, okay, this is a memoir. I guess I'm supposed to write that next. And so then this process started all over again.
I mean, you really went deep on the memoir too. I mean, you're talking the talk and walking the walk with everything. So you're having these young boys come out and get vulnerable and get in touch with themselves. And you really, I mean, it's a beautiful book. I love it. I'm really, really proud of what you've done. Was that a lot harder kind of getting in there and really taking a good look at your life and your journey?
Well, before you read it, I had my other English teacher read it that I've been working with since I think 2010. So she knows me pretty well, and she was part of the Building Men program and everything. And I had her read it for another opinion, and she said, "You're just glossing over this, Joe.
Ooh.
No one's going to read the rest of the book if you don't go in a little deeper." Um, and she challenged me to tell the truth. And then, talking to my wife, and she said, "Yeah, you're not giving everybody the whole truth."
Yeah.
And so I went back and dug a little bit deeper, and a lot of reflection and a lot of just being honest and saying, okay, maybe this could help somebody. And that's what really turned the corner, because she was saying, if you tell the truth and people connect,
Yeah.
people will relate to you and you can help them. And that kind of helped me turn the corner, taking a look at it. All right, I might have to give a little bit up to be able to help somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, I've noticed that too, when we share our stories of, and they see us come out the other side better and stronger and healthier. It is inspirational for a lot of people, because they say like, all right, well, this person's been through this. I can get through this too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was, I love, I mean, all the books are fantastic, but the memoir really just has a special place in my heart. I'm, I can't wait for other people to get their hands on it and read about it. It's awesome. Did a beautiful job. I'm glad your friend told you to go in and go deep, because
Right.
it really paid off.
Yeah, do you want to shout her out or anything?
Oh yeah, Heather Marzullo. Yep, ELA teacher, HW Smith. Yep,
Thank you,
100%.
Heather.
Yeah, we all need a Heather though. Give us
Right.
a little nudge every once in a while.
Yeah, I think sometimes people think that they don't. It's always, when I read a lot of our authors' books and I say, I want more of you in there, and it is because that's what makes it special and sets it apart. When you get more of that person and more of the story and more of the personal touches in there, it just does. It brings that connection so much easier for your readers. And I think your readers are really going to connect with this, because you cover a lot of territory in there that's very vulnerable and personal and just inspirational. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I got my own healing, is when I got upon a group of people that understood what I was talking about, right? And they say, oh, and I didn't feel alone anymore.
Exactly.
And it's that hope that you're talking about, right? When I don't feel like I'm the only person that had this off the wall idea or felt this way when this happened, that there are other people that, feel that way and get through it and find that transformation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And we all have a little bit of that in our story too, where we need that connection and that not feeling alone, whether it's, I mean, I personally can't do a cartwheel. So even if it's something as small as that, meeting other people that do cartwheels, but when you take something as vulnerable as the topics that you discuss, and then you really honestly take a look at your life and say, hey, how can I help these boys better now too?
Right.
This, I've healed. How can I bring my healing to the youth?
And then hopefully, that one person connects and doesn't have to go through the same thing I went through.
Exactly.
Right. And hopefully that one person finds that gift that God planted inside them, or their purpose, and all of a sudden now they have this sense of hope, and they see where education is connected, and see where their dream can go, and they start having a vision. All of these things are so important in a world which, people are so afraid to talk and so afraid to get together, so afraid to share emotions. We can be able to connect and grow from people's experience.
Truly, truly. We all need a little bit more of that these days. So
Yeah, I love that you have even your story about writing the book. Like once you decided you were gonna, even before you decided to do it, the voice came, write the book, and then COVID came. Here's the time to write the book, and then the course came. Here's how you write the book, and just following those nuggets. And I think some of that is in your book. You're actually in your memoir too. Like the hints and the clues are there, and I'm sharing with you how I found mine. The hints and clues are there for you too, reader.
Yeah. I mean, there's some, people that, I just listen to, and I know they say, find your purpose, right? And then there's some power behind it. Your gifts will make room for you, right? These things, right? If you just surrender to the direction, that you're given, these things can kind of, happen, and these divine appointments, these divine opportunities are such a blessing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. So with the memoir, so the planner is there for people working with students. The playbook is there for people with community groups or someone who wants to create a program or something. The memoir is there for anyone who wants to learn and better themselves. But who else? Who do you want to read this memoir, and what do you want them to take away from it?
Well, specifically, it was started, for teachers and coaches, right? Because that's what I am, right? A teacher, a coach, a man, a title, a memoir. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning of both teaching and coaching, right? I went with a lot of assumptions, a lot of hidden biases, that really made me ineffective teaching and really made me ineffective coaching. And so that's initially why I wrote it, is that COVID has changed things, right? I was talking to somebody today. Just because I'm standing in front of the class with a master's degree does not mean the kids have to pay attention to me. The kids don't care, but you connect with the kids and you share your heart with them, right? And you empower them and love them and show them that you care. Then all of a sudden they're going to willing to go do anything that you want them to do. And I had to learn that the hard way. I had to learn about those things. And I feel bad maybe sharing my story and letting somebody know that maybe they don't have to spend, years of learning those hard lessons.
Yeah.
And coaching, my big problem was I thought it was all about winning, and I forgot about the heart of the athlete. And I wish I would have learned that lesson way before I did. I've coached many years, and I could have made so much more impact, touched so many more hearts if I had come at the profession in a whole different light. And then I realized through the Build the Men program is that, there's this need among our boys, because I had that need to be okay with who I am, be authentic, right?
Yeah.
I heard the speaker, I was at this conference, he talks about, be authentic, be whole, and be evolving. And I was like, wow, that's what we need our young boys to do. Be who you are, right? And be whole, physically, mentally, socially, and spirit, like we talk about in our creed, and be evolving, continue to grow, continue to develop. And I thought I had to be somebody else to be okay. And this is so freeing, going through this journey, realizing, hey, I am who I am, right? And God made me complete, and I have everything I need. I just have to be me. And that's pretty freeing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree too, where it's like nobody's perfect. We're all human, but as long as we're willing to grow and learn, there's so much room for such wonderful, beautiful things. And just got to set the ego and the fear aside for a second and just open yourself up a little bit.
Right.
So,
Awesome.
looking back on your 1 year, 3 book journey, what advice might you have for other people who are looking at starting to write a book or to have a book and want to publish it?
20 minutes a day. Really, I mean, my friend said when I was first starting Building Men, he says, and he runs his own apparel company now, and he does really well for himself. Mark Jones with Drysick, and he was working another job, but every day he would come home and he'd work on his dream job for 10 minutes. And he said 10 minutes a day, and he read it somewhere in a book. And so he tried doing it. And since I'm a slow learner, I said, okay, 20 minutes a day. And so I would sit in front of the laptop for 20 minutes a day. Sometimes it was a struggle, but sometimes it was 30. And then all of a sudden, boom, here I'm talking to you guys on this YouTube video, right? And I never thought it was going to happen. And so it's just that consistent. It was a consistency, and then I just had a lot of help, as you guys have helped me and other people have helped me. So, as I think that's what, be willing to take the help and be consistent. That would be the two things.
Yeah. I mean, the growth I've seen in you as a writer over the past year is exponential. I remember when we were getting down to the last couple rounds of, back and forth with us on the memoir, the stuff that you were writing was so good. And there was just so much powerful stuff in there. And it was like we'd all given you the permission to just put more Joe in there and just go for it. And it ended up awesome. I'm so proud of what you did. Thank you
Yep.
so much. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Yes, we are super excited about your upcoming launches. So why don't you tell us where and when you're going to be? I think actually this your first one will be tomorrow when this is originally published. And yeah, and we're so excited. Can't wait to see what the feedback is and how it goes.
Yeah, so Friday at the Salt City Market at 6 o'clock. I have no idea what to expect, but it'll be fun. And then Tuesday, the 20th at Barnes and Noble in DeWitt from 6 to 8. I'll be there signing books. So we're really excited about that.
I hope it's a lot of fun. I'm sure a lot of the boys are going to show up and show their love for Coach Joe.
And then that'll be, I'm excited about it. I don't, just like who's going to show up is kind of exciting to figure that out.
It's like a birthday party times 10, right? Awesome. Well, thank you, Joe. Is there anything else you want to mention about any of the books or anything else before we end today's interview?
The next project I'm working on this summer, just letting you know. But I'm just so excited, and you guys are just amazing. Just helping me through every little bit of the process. It's just fantastic. So thank you both for this.
So
Well,
happy
thank
to help you.
We appreciate that. And your book, I mean, Wildebeest is all about running wild, being yourself, and taking leaps. So it just fits perfectly. And again, the universe, once you ask for it, hands you what you're looking for. So I think we were serendipitously meant to be together.
Definitely.
But thanks, Joe. Good luck. I'll see you at your events, and I hope everyone else will come out too.
We love you, Joe. Wishing you so much
right.
success. I hope the parties are a blast.
Thank you so much.